Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Black Fitness Show, Fitness Talk. I'm your host, Kevin. Today, we're going to have a great show. Before we start, I want everybody to go like and comment so we get the algorithm going. Now, before we start the show, Titus is going to come on. So we have difficulties right now, but we're going to start without him. Hopefully, he comes on. But we got the fellas here, so we're going to start talking about, the topic is fitness getting too sexual? So, everybody, introduce yourself. Odell.
Hey everybody, I am Odell Dickerson, better known as Odell Exec here on Instagram. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland, and I'm glad to be here with you guys. Great conversation coming ahead. We already started the conversation.
Ty.
What's up, y'all? My name is Ty, aka Lark City. I'm a trainer in the Atlanta area. I train at the Loft Athletic Club. This subject that we're about to talk about, I feel like real near and dear to my heart because my wife is a trainer. I train majority women, so I'm ready for it.
Go ahead, Rob.
All right, my name is Rob Richardson, online trainer from Biggest Loser from Louisiana, and I'm excited to have this discussion and bring all these kings' perspective together.
Great. So of course, like I said, we ain't got Titus right now, but he gonna pop up soon. Before I'm gonna ask the fellas the questions, we're gonna go back to the last week episode and we're gonna listen to what the women said about its fitness getting too sexual.
A lot of haters will say that.
Haters? What you mean by that? Tell me what you mean by that.
I mean, because I done had my fair share of some negative comments, oh, you posting this now, la. I've even had guys like say things like, "You wearing shorts in the gym now?" Yeah, because I got the gains.
The topic, I was like, first of all, the limits that have been placed on women since the beginning of time, is getting on my nerves. Okay, and so when we, all four of us and many of the people who follow your platform, Kevin, come here for motivation, and they come here and we go to the gym and we do our things because we want to feel and look good. And if I want to wear whatever the hell I want to, I'm going to do it. Yes.
Yes, I do think that social media has led to an over-sexualization of certain things, but I like that social media has also kept everybody connected, and people are learning. They're learning all kinds of fitness moves, and I don't really care if I'm looking on somebody's page and I see her ass and she has her ass in the camera. If it's a good move, I'm saving that. I'm saving it because I want to try that. That doesn't bother me. And fitness will always be fitness. It just will always be fitness. So it doesn't matter if I go on Lala's page and I see her boobs and her booty. I don't care. She has a beautiful body. She worked for it. I respect that. I love it. So I agree with you, Rashawn. If I see women who are scantily dressed and her body is banging, I don't care if it's a skinny bang, if it's a thick bang, if it's a medium-sized bang. Rock it. I'm cheering you on. I may say something to you in the gym and say, "You look good, girl."
Mm-hmm. That's what we can and cannot show. And honestly, I think a lot of you spoke about it too. Like, it's a lot of men there on my page is like, all you do is show ass. And go to a page that's assless. Like, go to a page that doesn't show not that much butt and boobs. So when I was younger, growing up, I was always very insecure about my body type. I grew up, with a butt. I was always curvy.
So now we got Titus here. Titus, I know you're a little late, but we were just showing about the women last week, women out there. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can't hear you. There you
I
go.
can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Now we heard from the ladies. Now we're gonna let Odell go first. Give it your explanation about is fitness getting too sexual.
So, bro, I think you need to state the question: Is fitness getting too sexual? First of all, my answer it's a personal thing, right? It's all subjective. So I don't think there's a right or wrong answer, but I'll give you my perspective. I'm very appreciative to see somebody who's had the motivation and or the discipline to take care of their bodies. And I'm also appreciative of somebody who has built up enough confidence to show their motivation and their discipline. The other thing is, bro, I think we have to lead by example. There's been so much body shaming going on. You know, for years, women had to fit into a certain mold, and even us men had to fit into a certain mold. Now, sexy is so subjective. BBW, big beautiful women, is sexy now. Big guys to women or whoever is sexy now. Now the definition has been expanded. And so it's to each its own. It's very, very personal, and it's a subjective thing. There's no objective answer that you could say is right. So my answer, if I gave just a straightforward answer, if I was answering a judge in court, I would say no. I have a lot of things that I could say. Do some people take it too far? Probably. I think this is one of those things where you have to be able to mature enough to check yourself and understand, why are you dressing a certain way? Why is it just your confidence? Or do you have some insecurities, which all of us have? And so maybe people can get to the point where, one, we can check ourselves, but not be so judgmental against everybody else.
Robbie, go ahead.
Well, you know, I think in the past my response would be different. Just because I would look at it like, man, like, why she got to wear that? Because I'm not trying to see that, especially as a married man. You're not trying to look, because lust is in the eyes, So I'm not trying to do that. But as I changed and transformed, I've learned to be like, you know what? It's so that was a part of me that I had to work on, because I was that insecure person that went to the gym with a hoodie on, with sweatpants on, because I was 479 pounds. Because now you catch me on leg day, I'm wearing the shortest shorts, the tightest shorts, and I'm loving squat day, I'm loving lunges, and I want to show my progress. And it's not because I want to make women, drool over me, but I just love the progress that I made, because one day I want to compete. And so I respect what women are doing when it comes to how they can dress, how they show off their videos. But I do see a difference when it comes to women who are showing women how to become healthy and showing workouts, versus some of them who just are, I call it playing fitness. I think some play fitness, and then some truly are trying to inspire women to do their thing, but some just are back and forth with it. And I think I feel like the ones that are about the fitness or about becoming a better version of themselves, they get hated on more because of where they're going and what they're doing for others, versus people who are just pretending to do it, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Titus, you go ahead.
Well, there's feelings and then there's facts. Okay. And I always like to deal with the facts. And, the fact is that we have hypersexualized everyone, not even just in fitness. Fitness is just a microcosm of what's going on in the world. And the truth is that they did a study, and 11% of girls would actually describe themselves as being beautiful. The hypersexualizing people, women, men, but hypersexualizing girls is responsible for 6 in 10 girls not feeling comfortable to go out and do regular activities because they're not comfortable with what they look like. Mm-hmm. And our media and our fitness pages are largely responsible for that, because what do? They show unrealistic images of what women should look like, to the point where, honestly, a lot of people don't even understand what a real body looks like anymore. Why? Because we have fitness pages that promote people who have gone under the knife, to enhance themselves in many different ways. And so people have no idea what real is even supposed to look like, what real proportions look like, what an actual natural looking body looks like, you know? And so that causes, especially and they did a study, it was the Dove Self-Esteem Project. It actually showed, right? That's where I'm getting these numbers from. 11% of girls would actually describe themselves as being beautiful. If you listen to the music, look at the type of music and the type of images that are celebrated as what beautiful looks like, you know? And so when we start to consider these things, you know, once again, you can feel one way, but the facts show that the over-sexualization is a problem and is an increasing problem that has that's plagued a lot of people. You know, I grew up in Africa, okay? And growing up in Africa, even for boys, you know, I see this on social media all the time. I see young men wearing, you know, revealing pants, and there's nothing wrong with showing your legs and your musculature. The human body is beautiful. But there's something to be said when you're showing prints of your genitalia. When I grew up, that was in poor taste, because growing up in Africa, obviously you have men who have some pretty extreme endowment, and that was not in good taste to have women and children looking at you in public, because you're now walking in front of somebody's wife and child. You know, the same way we see young ladies on things. No, you know, you want to show your musculature and your leanness, but it's something totally different when I can see the print of your vulva. That's unnecessary. That's not fitness. You see what I'm saying? And I think a lot of times what's gone wrong with our society now is that we've gotten so scared to say the truth, right? That we want to say that, it's subjective, but the truth is there is decency and there's indecent behavior. And we have to be man enough, woman enough, bold enough to call indecent that what it is. It's indecent, it's unnecessary, it's over the line.
Ty, go ahead.
I feel like you have to go based off the premise of why people are working out. Some people work out for health, you know, other people work out, especially if you're in the gym and you're bodybuilding, you're really working out for the way you look. I mean, unless you're an athlete and you're getting paid to actually lift weights, you know, and do stuff like that, you're not necessarily doing it for performance. So the whole premise of you doing it is for you to look good. Now, obviously, if you go back in time, as far as when it comes to fitness, especially in the 80s, with the, you know, the fitness classes and the aerobic classes, that is the beginning of commercialized sexuality and fitness. And I think as far as the business aspect of fitness, that's always been what drove fitness. Everyone wants to get the six-pack abs. Everybody wants to have a slimmer waist. Everyone wants to have the bigger butt. But to what Titus was saying, when it comes to the over-sexualized, I feel like, yeah, we can talk about what's decent and what's indecent, but then we have to talk about what is the actual relativity of what's going on today. Because the same thing we can say was indecent before, as far as a man with his shirt off in public, that was not acceptable 40 years ago. Today, a man with his shirt off in public is just another man with his shirt off in public. But I said all that to say, the basis of most people's training is to look and feel better. So when you living in the environment where everywhere that you go, everything that you do in the physical world is actually matching what you see online, because that's the life that I live. Like, most people don't get to see, as far as the beautiful women, the handsome men in one place, like actually living and breathing in real life. Most people see it through the eye of the internet, so they believe it to be, you know what I'm saying, unobtainable or something that doesn't really happen in real life, when there are people that are actually living this life every single day. And for me as a married man, like I think Robert said earlier about he had to work on himself. I feel like I worked on myself to a level where I was secure in myself to be able to see my wife in that light and see the happiness that comes from people when they actually do hit their goals. But if I had to answer the question, I don't think fitness has become too sexy because it's only relative to the time. Because if that's the case, everything is too sexy. But what are you going to do? Going to Iraq?
Titus, I see you want to rebuttal. Go ahead.
The only thing I was going to say is about the men walking bare-chested. Since the time of the gladiators, it has been standard that strong, strapping men walked around in public with their shirt off, seeing their bare chest. That was a sign of masculinity. Look at the statues of Hercules and people like that. So, but even with the statue of Hercules, his genitalia is covered. It's just,
So I even to rebuttal to that. So what about the same statues and the same European that actually do show genitalia?
This is not about European. This is not about European or black. It's about societal standard.
The societal standard back then during the Olympic time, when you were talking about Atlas and Hercules, is really the mythical time. And then those are times that in early America, it was not acceptable for a man to walk around bare-chested with his shirt.
Since the days of boxing, brother, men have been walking around with their shirt off. When we show boxing matches of Jack Johnson and all those people like that, those men were in public squares boxing with their shirts off. They had on long pants, but they had their shirts off.
Well, I guess my point is that it doesn't have to be a boxing match or a heroic effort for men to have that. You don't have to have a time or place to have your shirt off now, when before it was a time and place for you to be.
Men work with their shirt off in labor camps all the time. That's always been standard. That's the only thing I'm saying about the men's shirt off part. Men with their shirt off in public has been the case for hundreds of years. That's men work with their shirts off. That's, farmers, laborers, wherever you went, you saw men with their shirts off. A bare-chested man has never been an issue in public. Now, we can go back to what societal standards are and all that kind of stuff like that, but the sight of a man bare-chested has never been an issue.
Can I jump in? So,
go ahead.
Two things. I think a woman would say, and I'm not a woman, but I can't speak for all women, but I think the women would say that there's an obvious double standard here, right?
Yeah, I'm not arguing that.
No, this isn't even a rebuttal to what you're saying. I'm actually adding on. A woman would say, but to the statement you just said with a man with his shirt off, right before you came on, I was sharing with the guys. So I work in ministry. I'm married, 3 amazing children, amazing wife, and I work in ministry. I serve in ministry, but I'm a fitness addict. I love fitness. I love taking care of my body and taking care of my whole physical being. But sometimes the saints are offended if I post a picture with my shirt off. So even though you say, it's been acceptable in some arenas, because like I say, if I'm on vacation, Titus, and I'm by the pool and I take a picture with my shirt off because I'm by the pool or at the beach, I get all types of, I can't believe that. You're a man of God. You shouldn't be doing that, blah, blah, blah. Now, I don't agree with that, but people do feel that way. Yeah, I get that all the time.
I can dig that, and I've had those conversations, and I'm aware of that. That's a different conversation. But I was just making the point that men with their shirt. I mean, if you're in a religious organization and they have different sets of standards, it's just like different sets of standards. That's different. But I'm talking about generally. But I understand the constraints with your constituency and the restraints that we put on you because you are an elder in a church, and a large church at that.
That's what my
I can say this.
Everyone has those standards. If you're working in a corporate arena, you have those same type of standards put on you as far as from your job. So that's the reason why I don't want my job to follow me on Facebook, or I don't want my job to follow me on Instagram, because those are the same standards that you're put within those corporate, arenas. And if you have a public face in any degree, you're going to have some type of scrutiny of depending on how you actually put yourself out there. So I wasn't arguing with you the fact that men have always had their shirt off. That's a known fact. That's something that everyone knows. I'm just saying it's still relevant today that men are not able to express that actual part of them in the many arenas other than even this ministry that he just spoke about.
Well, hold on. So this is my thing. I'm gonna let Robert talk about this. Are we more focused on social media? We all in social media see the fitness. Do you see a lot of influencers actually trying to be more sexier than becoming a fitness influencer? Because you see a lot of men, especially women, who wear a thong on in their house with a bra on and work out. I don't know if that's considered fitness or that considered being sexualized. Because if you look at a normal person, it'd be like, oh, she's an OnlyFans model. Because everything we see is bare skin instead of this actual focus on the workout. Like you would actually see some of these people comments and say, okay, I see. Okay, we know what you're doing. That's what you're gonna see a lot. We know what you're doing. We ain't focused on, we're not focused on the exercise. We focus on what you look like or what you got on. But so, Robert, I want you to continue that. What you think about that?
Well, I'm just gonna be straight up. I feel like I've been a follower, not a follower. I've been a leader my whole life. I've never been a person that followed the trends. I was always the odd one out of the group. But I feel like a lot of people, when they see other people's success and what they're doing, they try so hard to be noticed. And so now you have the different influencer. Everybody's an influencer. I influence flowers. I influence drinking water. It's just, what about, who are you? Can we just see who you are? And I think that's the misconception, because I have young men who talk to me about, man, Rob, I see you on TikTok. I see you on Instagram. I see you on Twitter. I want to be an influencer like you. I was like, wait, time out. I'm just Rob. I'm just Mr. Rob to you, of course. And I tell them, I say, whatever you're good at, whatever you're great at, just be great at that. And I think that sometimes, especially with the fitness, and fitness is getting dragged into this trend because you have people who truly are not about fitness. And so this is where the sexualized OnlyFans, let me make my money any way I can, and let me do it with fitness, versus people who truly care about people's health and wellness are getting lost in the shuffle because of people who are being pretenders and not really about health and wellness. So you have, like you just said, the women I don't understand the whole in a thong bikini in your bathroom, you doing deadlifts and squats, and the camera is right at your butt. I'm not watching your form. I'm watching where you go to the bathroom at. So that's not right. But it's I know it might entertain your crowd, but if my wife is looking for a trainer, even if it's a male trainer or a woman trainer, she's going to swipe and say, okay, that's not it. Because if she's trying to learn how to squat, deadlift, and perfect her form and work on her craft, she wants to see somebody who's actually performing the exercise without showing other things, And let me say this real quick, so I'll stop talking after this. You have women out there that wear, the tights, the shorts, and they're incredible. They have incredible physiques. And in bodybuilding, even as a man, when you see that, you're like, man, okay. Because I have women clients, so I'm looking like, okay, this is how I want you to look, because your physique is just like that. So it's kind of hard to dissect sex and fitness and put it together, because when bodybuilding, you're trying to you look at each part of the body and what they need to work on. But I feel like, again, you have those who are trying to be trendsetters and call themselves fitness influencers, but don't know a thing about fitness.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the difference. Like the ones that are using fitness as a vehicle to do something else, and those who are actually in fitness. But I feel like that is for us as actually people who have experience in this industry to know whether is this person sexy because they work out, or is this person just trying to make their workout sexy.
Correct.
And I think that's what the difference, because I follow women who I know personally who train hard, like like literally they lifting in heavy weight, they're lifting more weight than men,
Mm-hmm.
and they dress a certain way and they keep their pages sexy, but they're actually working out. But then I know people who just do sexy workouts, and I don't necessarily respect that side, because I feel like we put work in this. Like we really,
Right.
especially if you've had a transformation and you've actually changed your life through fitness, I don't really respect that part of it. But if you put the work in, I feel like you warranted to do whatever you want to do, because all of us know what it takes to go in that gym every day and actually change your body and mentally stay at it. So I don't know, that's just my feeling with it.
I think Titus hit it earlier, right? So fitness, it's just easy. This is the whole world. America was built on selling sex and violence, but we're talking about sex. America was built on sex, and fitness. There's just a bigger opportunity. And as you talk about, one of my followers today jumped on my page, and a friend of mine actually, she said, y'all got to know the difference between fitness. It's not fitness, it's social media. Well, it happens on social media. And what social media has done has blown up all of our insecurities, right? Because all of us want to be liked. Everybody wants to be liked. And not even realizing you may have 1 million followers, but maybe 1 or 2 of them are your actual friend and who actually like you. And then you're, like you said, you're showing them a lot of times, whether it's your body that maybe you worked out for, maybe it's a great body that you naturally achieve. But a lot of times we know that it's injections. A lot of times we know that it's surgeries. A lot of times we know that sometimes it's not even that. It's just the pose, right? Like I don't walk around holding my stomach in, right? And with my chest out all the time, right? Some of it's just the pose. And because we don't share that, and more people are starting to share that, but because we don't share that, people have a misconception and believe they have to be specifically a certain way. There's a commercial, that's the last thing I'm gonna say. There's a commercial that LeBron James has, and he starts out by saying, the world doesn't need another LeBron James, right? A world doesn't need another Odell. The world doesn't need another Titus, because guess what? There will never be another Odell. There will never be another Titus, right? We gotta help people understand you can become the best you. I'm never gonna look like Titus. I'm never gonna look like Ty, right? But I can be the best Odell and be comfortable with that. But that's not what's happening in a lot of cases. They're selling sex. If you get 1 million followers, you make more money. So in order for me to get 1 million followers, I may show you a little bit more. And it's not just women that's guilty. Titus, you said it. There's men that's guilty of it as well.
Oh yeah.
And again, what I said earlier, it's so personal and subjective. So here we are, some guys who are a little bit more heartfelt about our fitness and our routines and taking care of our bodies, but everybody's just not like that. Some people just happen to have great genetics, jumped on the bandwagon, turned out their body's great, and they showing you like they've been working their whole life. I'm 51. I bust my butt every day to stay in decent shape.
Well, I still blame my dad. I love my dad, but I'm mad at him right now. My dad, NFL body, 6'5", 8% body fat, 8-pack. I'm like, okay, how did I become the offensive lineman in the group? Like, what's going on here? Like, where's the genetics? So, but one thing my mom, my grandpa, and my dad always taught me, they said, don't ever walk away or don't ever turn your back on what is called truth. And I think that's the problem with our society, is that even at 35 years old, getting into my word, I'm learning that even in ministry, truth can be hidden. As an African American, I'm learning that truth has been hidden from me and my ancestors forever. And I'm just learning some new things about that. And it just blows my mind how that's not just in that, it's in everything that we do day to day. There's a lot of truth that are closed doors and hidden behind stuff that we just don't even know about,
Yeah, one of the things, and I'm glad somebody mentioned about sex. Sex is the first commodity ever sold. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very easy to sell sex. When I first got on social media, I got on social media because a random picture my daughter took was posted and went viral. Okay. Literally. I hated social media. I didn't want to have anything to do with it. When I first got on social media, I realized that when I post pictures with my shirt off, I got a lot of attention. And so I wanted to bring a little bit more depth to my following, a little bit more meaning. And so I would, I would talk about things. And even when I post pictures and stuff and workouts, I would give people, what I'm doing, give an explanation. But what I realized is that I don't get as much attention for the pictures that are not showing my shirt off, showing my arms. Like if I post a leg day, right, and I don't have, because I'm not going to wear like booty shorts or nothing, I don't get as much. Even if I'm squatting 400 pounds, you don't get much. But I could be curling a 10-pound weight. If my shirt was off, I get a lot of, and I had to make a decision myself for my own integrity as a man over 2 years ago. If you go to my page, you can actually see, right? You will find that I will rarely post a picture of myself, first of all, nor really put a picture of myself with a shirt off over the last year plus. Okay. And the reason why is because this topic that you're talking about, the over-sexualization of fitness, has been something that I have been very keen to for a while. And I said to myself as a man, my own integrity, I can't knock anybody else, but you know what? I am not going to do this very often. I'm going to give people content. I'm going to give people good stuff. If you like it, you like it. You're going to see more of this side of me, the intellectual side and all that stuff like that. And if you gravitate to that, right, great. But if you're thinking that you're going to come here and every week going to get a shirt off picture or some kind of stuff of me, thirst trapping and stuff like that, I have daughters. Okay. And I try to be an example. So I said, you know what? Yes, people have seen me with my shirt off, and there's nothing wrong with me posting a picture of my shirt off every now and then. But this is not about to be the theme of my page. This is not about to be the theme of what I do. All right. Now, I can't speak for everybody else, and I can't tell what other people to do. But me as a person, and I have the proof because you can go to my page and look, right? As a person, people have seen. I've had a picture that you can check the tags on pictures. I have pictures that have been shared hundreds of thousands, maybe 1 million times. And so I know what it takes, and I know how easy it is to get followers and to be shared and shared and shared. But at some point in time, we have to recognize what the truth is, right? Like you said, Robert, I just posted about truth today. Would you rather the comfortable truth or the uncomfortable truth or the sweet lie? All right. And we try to mask these things and make it seem like it's okay. But our actions, my dad used to say, the things we do, right, they ripple. Okay. By doing that, I'm posting and telling to somebody who's younger than me, hey, you want to get popular? Take your shirt off. And while you're at it, hike your pants off and show your print, And if you do that, you'll get a couple thousand more followers. All right. And so does it limit how much money and following I get because I don't do that? Yes, I'm aware it does. I own a supplement company. Of course, I could be out here showing my abs and stuff and doing all kinds of stuff like that, rubbing myself down. Of course, I could do that. All right. I could be doing that every week. And every week I would have a picture that would go viral. But is that what I stand for? Is that the ripple I want to send out? Is that what I want to be known for? Like I talked about today, do you want it? What you're doing today, is that what you want to be known for? If you were to die today, is that what you want your legacy to be? And we all have a choice, okay? Because right now, the wave that is being created, right? We create that wave. We contribute to that wave or not. And I can't say I'm not probably going to stop it because I know it's going to happen. If there's somebody posting, a twerking video right now on a fitness page. But at least I won't be the one doing it in heavy rotation.
Yeah, it's so funny when you talk about. Oh, go ahead, Todd. Go ahead.
I think you hit a very valuable point when you said that you made a decision And I think that goes back to what we were talking about earlier when it was talked about as being subjective, because you had to come to that realization. Because in order for you to know that you could go viral, you had to go viral from those type of behaviors that when it happened, the way that it made you feel and the way that you felt like you were putting yourself out there made you change the way that you were acting or the way that you move because of the person that you are. And I feel like that's something that's really like the realization of, are you knowing what you're doing and just and doing it for a certain goal or a certain reason, or are you unknowingly doing it and just blindly making these moves just to get attention or just to get, you know, following? Because it's a variance of people, as above, so below. So the same way that you feel strongly about how you feel about it, there's somebody on the other side that feels strongly about it because that's the way that they live their life. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's where it gets caught up. And the very first thing that you said was sex has been a commodity in America forever. And I think that is the root of everything that's happening, because like people make money off of this. So the first thing that they thinking is like, okay, I'm about to get a bag off of this. Not necessarily, oh, I'm about to have everybody looking at my ass, or have everybody, oh my God, my boobs are so nice, or my print. I'm about to get a bag off of this. So I think that has just as much of a problem as the over sexualization within this industry, because now that there's so much light on our industry, there's so much money, and people just come and trying to do whatever they can to actually, and they're not even really living the life. Now, you speak to someone, I don't know if y'all are fitness trainers or fitness coaches, but when you actually impacting lives every day, and the type of people that you're impacting, you don't necessarily you might have a dancer, or you might have a bottle girl, and when they come to you crying and talking about, oh my God, I never thought that fitness would change my life like this. I never thought that I would have enough confidence to actually stay working out and keep sticking to it. And they go out and they over sexualize their life, but they actually have a real connection with fitness. So for me, I feel like it's a discredit to those type of people who live that type of lifestyle, but they put that work into this fitness in this fitness arena. And as far as how people live their lives, there's so much variance, because people go through so many different things, so many broken homes, so much. And that's why I respect Titus, because it takes a person to actually go through this stuff, realize it, and then actually be able to look in retrospect and be like, I don't want to put myself out there like that. A lot of people just not in that place in their journey yet. So I feel like I just have to have that grace for people, because I know I had to move into my journey that same way.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I always say this to people, you know, you never look down on people for what they are, because you know what? There was a time I didn't know what I knew, what I know now. Okay. And we all we all have decisions to make as men, women, and people about what we're going to do and who we're going to be. I cannot dictate to another person what they should or should not do. What I can do is set my example, right? And then after that, I leave the rest to you, you know, and you know, we are examples. People do look at us. We are influencers. I always use that. Always talk about the word influencer, you know, okay? And I always ask, what exactly are you influencing people to do? What are you using your influence for? Like with me, you know, like we talk about fitness, but I talk more about wellness, because my approach is mind, body, and soul. And so I believe if I get people to thinking right, then you will be more convinced to act right, do right, and then you will be healthy. All right. Healthy is more than just your physical. Healthy is also your mental. So if you're not thinking right, if you're not approaching life with the right perspective, right? A healthy body is useless with a poisoned mind. You see what I'm saying? And so once you can get the mind lined up, I always call it congruence, right? The things you believe affect the things you think. The things you think affect the things you say, and then also trickle down to the things you do. All right. So why do you believe you have to do this? What is your purpose? You know? And so for me, like I said, like I work with people. I've been fortunate to be able to help people get off high blood pressure medication and stuff like that. So I'm, in all types of medication for real, just by educating them about their food, educating about what they do. I always tell people I don't sell supplements, right? I show you the benefits of it. And then if you want to go ahead and you do that, right, it benefits you. But it's more so about promoting health, healthy mind. And so I cannot be promoting healthy mind, healthy habits, and then engaging in habits that are detrimental to myself and my community, to my image, So for me, like I said, I think discussions like this are very healthy. And I think people need to see influencers, like us, using our influence, right, to put people on the right path, if you will, all right, or a different path.
Yeah.
So my thing is, when we was talking about the shirtless, like when you talk about you're a mature man, man, you're around 50, right, Titus? You around 50?
53.
53.
I was off 2 years. Okay.
So we have men you can talk about the biggest fitness. We ain't gonna talk about women. We talk about men, and they all have the same thing in their videos, and they all are shirtless. They all, for some reason, they just have to be shirtless to show an exercise. It could be they think it's motivating guys to work out, or it brings more attention to women to make them attractive so they can do the workout, or they just think that social media only allowed they will be more acceptable for them being shirtless. So the same thing with women. Women feel that they have to wear a particular sports bra set or leggings or shorts to show that image. Like, do you think that are they more influenced, like you said, they influence people, or they just like sex sells? They believe that sex sell thing.
Well, I mean, like, take for instance for me, okay? I have pictures of my shirt off, all right? And so I show workouts, and I've shown workouts in the past, or have a picture with me with my shirt off. But I don't feel the need to put a picture of me with my shirt off every week or every other week. If you want to see a picture of me with my shirt off, just scroll a couple weeks, you'll find one, all right? But you don't have to see it every day. It's not germane to what I'm talking about every single day, right? I show my shirt off to show people what is possible at the age of 53, okay? But there's a difference between being an example, right, and then being a commodity. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not using my shirt off to sell every day. I hope my content sells, which, once again, if you want to see me with my shirt off, you can go look. I mean, I have quite a few pictures over the last 5+ years with my shirt off. But once again, every single day, like you say, every exercise, it's not necessary, It's not necessary for me.
For a millennial fitness influencer, I'm not thinking about the person on the other side of the phone. I'm literally working the algorithm of Instagram. So I know for a fact, if I post this, I get X amount of clients from these particular posts, because Instagram shows you. It shows you how many website clicks I can go to the same day, see what those website clicks actually gain me as far as monetization. I'm like, okay, the algorithm, let's say for instance, like me and my wife, when I post me and my wife together, the algorithm goes crazy. So I'm like, okay, now I know if I post me and my wife, I need to have this in my actual not my comments, but in my
caption.
What the hell is this shit called? In my caption, in order for them to click this button so that I bring this many sales in. So it's like when you actually when you monetize strictly off of the internet, you're not even thinking about the other person. You're literally thinking about the monetization and the algorithm of Instagram. So that's what when I listen to Titus, I'm like, okay, you're able to detach from that matrix of Instagram because you're successful outside that matrix of Instagram. And
no, I'm not.
I'm not necessarily saying the matrix like you don't monetize off Instagram. I'm saying you don't monetize off of piggybacking on the algorithm.
Yes, I
You
do.
monetize outside of that, right? You have your own way of reaching people the way that you do, right?
I
And
monetize strictly
with
off of social media, but the only reason why I'm just going to stop you right there is because, like I said, I made a decision with myself as a man, right, that I am an influencer, okay? And I have to be mindful of what it is that I am influencing people to do. And if that means that it costs me some money because I am not using the algorithm and taking my shirt off, where I know will get me more clicks, but that sets better with me and my values, my integrity, and where I stand as a man, then that's a financial loss I have to take.
I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm saying that's what you do. So the fact that you do that, there's a whole another arena of fitness influencers that don't do that.
Yeah.
And when we're actually in the everyday grind, when you in the everyday work, my point is you're not thinking about trying to be sexy. You're thinking about, it's like a game. Like I'm literally going against his algorithm to make sure that this is how my family eats. So it's like, if you in a different level, like I'm at a different level than you. I'm 30, so I'm at a lower level than you. So for me, it's like I'm still trying to work myself up to that point where it doesn't matter what people say, or it doesn't matter if I post once every week, or it doesn't matter, but I'm not at that point. And I feel like a lot of us are in that inside bubble where we're trying to get out so we can have the freedom to actually do that. But when money is a strain on as far as your performance, your business performance, that's where you get this back and forth of trying to figure out, okay, what's morally right, or is this morally wrong, or is it something that's personal to me? So that's why I got nothing but respect for how you move, because I do feel that wheel that you're talking about, that wave. I feel it. And it's like, I'm not in my head thinking I'm about to promote this wave for the rest of my life. But at the same time, it's like you have to do it while you're in it, especially when you're around the top influencers in the world and they're in your circle. When you understand what they have from this and how they're able to now kind of take steps back because they initially put their groundwork in, so to say. So the over sexualization of fitness, I feel like, unfortunately, is here to stay, because that's how America makes money, off of everything.
But if we don't stop it, who does? If we don't do something, who does? Once again, and I was just going to say this, Odell, when you say you work at the algorithm, right? For me, I'm not going to allow a computer program, because they decide to make a couple tweaks, to dictate what I do and what I post, and to compromise certain things that I believe. Like I don't know if you guys seen this new thing where you get a lot more views on your reels if you use this song.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So my thing is, so now you're telling me, you're dictating to me what song I'm gonna put on my reel. What's next? You get a lot more views if you wear these blue pants. You get a lot more views if you bend over. You get a lot more, and it's a slippery slope. And the more we cater, the more control it has. The more control it has, the more demands it makes. And at some point in time, once again, I might be the guy that dies on the street. Okay, I'm perfectly fine with that. All right, I might be the guy whose income gets compromised. Right, and I understand when you're younger, you have to get to that point. Fortunately for me, I lived a life where it was the integrity of myself and my father that actually is the reason why I'm alive. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so if it weren't for integrity and values and going against the grain and not the popular crowd, I probably wouldn't be here. So I understand what that is. And, I hope that nobody is ever in that position that I was in to learn that lesson as starkly as I did. But at some point in time, somebody has to take a stand, and somebody has to say, "No, I'm not going to do that. I'll take the lesser."
Go ahead, Rob. You good?
Oh no, I'm gonna let I'm gonna let Odell.
Odell.
Okay. I think Ty, you what you introduced to the conversation though is the generation gap, right? Which is super important. I talked about the difference between women and men earlier, but the generation gap is different. And the conversation that you and Titus are having, it's a real conversation, and it's a conversation that's healthy, right? So maybe, and I'll speak for myself, like Titus spoke for herself. In my 20s, there's things I would have done that I won't do now. And thank God for the word, somebody said it earlier, for grace, right? Thank God for grace, and thank God for mercy. Grace is I didn't get what I deserve. You know what I mean? I just, mercy is I didn't get what I deserve. Grace is God just, he spared me anyway. It's things like it seems like money is the end, right? And it justifies everything. And you do have to learn that there's a cost. We don't get to see the cost that everybody pays. Kanye is a billionaire, but his life, I wouldn't trade my life for his life.
No,
I wouldn't trade my life for his life. And we don't know the cost, so we're getting this snapshot, either a picture or a 59-second reel of these lives that we can't verify. We can't really blue check these lives that they're showing us on Instagram, right? They're not showing us all the real deal. They're showing us the best edited portion.
Highlights.
All of us know we've been through some hard times, right? And so you have to learn, what your boundaries are, how far you're going to color outside the line. So, like Titus said, sometimes you can find something with his shirt off, but you're not going to find every day with his shirt off. But we go to some pages, and their shirt is off every day. But at the same time, I admire bodybuilders. I admire the work that bodybuilders do, and I can admire a great set of abs, and you can see them work. But they know that sex sells. They know it. They know it. We know it, and they know it.
Right.
And they have to decide. They have to live with it, because guess what? They're not. Also, most are 20, 30. They're gonna get older, and when sex no longer sells, who have you become? Who have you become? And what have you left behind to say, this is who I was? I had a great body when I was 20. I used to show my chest on Instagram all the time. Show it now. Right?
And
what
I think
for now?
I want to say one thing, Ty.
Y'all gave us so much game. Like, y'all generation gave us so much game, like how to get in, get out. Right. And I think that's the discredit that the older generation doesn't see with us. Like, we know this ain't forever. Like, we squeezing this lemon because we know now I have to set up something where I don't even have to be there. Not even long to take my shirt off and post a picture of myself. I don't have to be there. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I'm around people. Like, I'm around the top 5 influencers in the world, and I seen what they did at the beginning of their career, how they started to tape off, and they're making 6-7 figures a month, not having to do what they had to do no more. And it's like, okay, this is the blueprint to actually the freedom of not having to do that no more. Wow. And it's like,
it is not.
If you don't have a means to an end,
it is right. It is a blueprint. You have to make a choice, right? And no disrespect. I promise you, no disrespect to say a stripper, but that's a age-old thing where women trying to pay their way through school will go to a strip club because they can make more money, right? Most of them didn't really enjoy what they were doing, and they became somebody different trying to get to that end. So you have to be careful of the blueprint that you choose. There's more than one blueprint out there. And I would never judge anybody. I'm just not a judgmental cat. Everybody get to choose and do what they own do, make their own mistakes. The Bible says, the first man without sin cast stones. Come on. I'm not judging anybody, but you do have choices.
Right.
You do have choices
with those choices.
I mean, I don't like
not only consequences,
says,
but unintended consequences.
Yeah, like Odell says, I don't have a problem with any girl who dances either. As a matter of fact, for some people, I think is, hey, if you got a beautiful body and stuff like that. But like you said, when you become an influencer, it's not just your actions. And I'm glad that you and I are having this conversation, Ty, because, one thing that you did say, when you look at somebody like us, you may not be there yet. But imagine if somebody like me wasn't carrying myself in a certain way, it might take you even longer. So if I can set the example and lay on a sword, maybe you might get there faster. And then maybe you might get there while I still got a little bit more vinegar in my body, and then we can have a little bit more weight. You know what I'm saying?
I'm loving this conversation.
I was raised by the OGs. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, message. You go. Hold on.
Yeah, we were all young at some point, man. You lost the audio. Yeah.
Ty, you lost your volume. You lost your volume. We can't hear you. Ty. He can't hear.
Oh no.
Can't hear you.
Can't hear you. No, I was.
Yeah, I mean.
Go ahead, Titus.
But yeah, as somebody who's a little bit more seasoned, somebody like me and Odell, we do realize that the examples that we set, we have people like Ty and other young people who are watching those things. And I'm aware of that. And so that's why I say, okay, you know what? Yeah, I can make a lot of headway doing certain things. But what is this ripple? What is this trend that I'm setting? You see what I'm saying? Am I showing that this is the only way to do it? I mean, even when we even look at music, right? I'm listening to people make music, and they're making music still to this day, right? About selling drugs and killing and all that kind of stuff like that. I'm like, I'm pretty sure you could come up with other lyrics that would have rhymed as opposed to promoting this lifestyle that we know ends in death.
Yeah.
But can I throw a monkey wrench? Man. Can I throw a monkey wrench in the plan? So monkey wrench, right? So revealing yourself is not the only definition of sexy.
No.
Right? You can be sexy by being, one of the things that I know, some of the women I know think is sexy is a man who takes care of his family.
Not only that, yeah.
Right?
Yep.
A man who's a father to his children.
Yep.
Right? A man who may wear a suit and tie. A man who wears a uniform, who's an auto mechanic, but goes to work every day, and that's a professional. Right? So sexy isn't just us with our shirts off or us revealing ourselves, right? Nope. We're human beings, and we are all sexual beings. So we don't have to deny sex.
No.
Right? We can be confident in who we are, and it's that confidence in who we are individually.
Correct.
That I think people will find us sexy.
Correct. Yeah.
I mean, let's be real, Odell. You and I, we got sexy because we had a great beard.
Hold on. Wait.
Hey, I got a little song.
First of all.
Right.
I would have caught both of y'all
10
already.
years ago, a great beard wasn't sexy.
No.
We caught a wave, right? We caught a wave.
I shouldn't have shaved my beard.
Y'all are exploiting beards.
I shouldn't have shaved. I shaved mine 2 weeks ago. I shouldn't have shaved it.
I
just said trim it up. My barber trimmed it up for me. I said this way, shave it down. I should never shave mine down. I knew I was going to hear it.
Guys, I got somebody got a question. Shout out to Kim. She was one of the ladies from the panel. She got a question for Titus. So Titus, do you think your shirtless pictures inspire other men your age to get in shape? Women inspire other women in that matter. So what you think?
Of course they do. Of course they do. And that's why I won't stop posting pictures of myself with my shirt off. However, I have to make a decision of what it is that I want to be known for. Am I the guy who's constantly up there with my shirt off? Or am I the guy who shows what's possible and then talks about mind, body, and soul? Okay, I have to talk about the mind. So every morning I wake up, guess what? I do a live talking about mental attitude, your attitude towards life, your perspective. All right. I talk about toxic foods. So I post about, hey, you may want to stay away from this food. I talk about, you know, the power of eating properly. So I show people how to eat right. I show cooking demos. Hey, this is how easy it is to cook for yourself. All right. I show the benefits of natural medications, natural supplements. That's why I own a natural supplement company. Hey, guess what? If you take this, this will help you with this, this, and this. This will prevent you from getting sick. All right. And when you do all of that and you work out like I work out, go back and take a look at what you could look like. And every now and then I flash that. You see what I'm saying? It's all in context. All right. But, you know, I said this to my daughter. I said, let me ask you a question. I said, have you seen an advertisement for Ruth Chris chocolate mousse cake? And she said, I didn't know Ruth Chris sold chocolate mousse cake. I said, yeah, they do. It's delicious. I said, but you will never see an ad for that. Why? Because they don't want to be known for their chocolate mousse cake. They want to be known for their filet mignon. So now you ask yourself, as you're advertising yourself to the world on your social media pages, what is it that you want to be known for? Because you can't be mad if you're advertising chocolate mousse cake and somebody comes and books a party for 12 in your best room and says, give us 12 chocolate mousse cakes. You can't be mad if you're advertising sex and somebody, all they want from you is sex. But if you show a well-rounded man, an intelligent man, a well-thought man, who happens to also be a good-looking man, right? But if you look at the totality of my page, you will find more so about the side of my mental strength, the mind, the soul part, and then you'll find a little bit of the body. But predominantly, you will find more so of my mental strength, my integrity, my virtue, where I come from, how I think. And so that's what I'm selling the most of. And we all have to make a decision of what we're going to sell. All right? Because how you sell yourself is how you will be bought.
Hey, guys, I have to close this out. We're going to do a part 2.
Oh,
we're going to do a part 2.
I had so much.
But the part 2, I'm out of the ladies. So they're going to come on as well, too. So we're going to always gonna be there. And we're gonna have a nice discussion because this is a great. This is like a teachable moment. This is not this is teachable. Our generation. I made this because I knew it was gonna be different generations on this panel. So I know the elders is gonna teach the young because me tie the same age. So we need game. We don't have OGs like we did back in the day. We don't have nobody tell yo.
I'm in the middle of y'all. I'm 35. Okay, don't leave me out now.
You're not leaving no more. You out. You out of there.
Well, I mean, I'm out. I mean, come on now. Don't leave me hanging. I don't got a beard no more. Good.
This was great. I love this. This topic. I knew everybody's going because everybody look at fitness as there's fitness, but we don't have a discussion about fitness. We don't have. We got to talk about the situation what's going on with fitness. So that's why I have all y'all because I see y'all what y'all do. And I feel like y'all have great opinions. I knew it's gonna be generation. I knew Tyler's gonna have my generation. Because me and him think the same way. This is our generation. This is how we think. We'll go get it. Anything we gotta get to make money, we gonna do it. So when the OG say, "Yo, you don't have to do that," that's what we have that. So we gonna talk more. I'm gonna save this. We gonna come back to this. So I want everybody, close it out. So you get to talk about what you got. Anything you have? Anything you want to talk about? Anything you want to promote? Go ahead, Odell.
I'll go first. So, man, for me, I'm so blessed to be able to be on here and talk about fitness, right? So fitness is just one component of my life, right? My entire life is ministry. My entire life is devoted to serving others and making life better for somebody else. Yes, I work in a church, but the rest of my life. So my page is about faith, family, fashion, fitness and finance, right? I want to empower our people. I want to lead by example, and I want to be that positive influencer. I'm not running away from like Charles Barkley did. I'm not a role model. I'm not running away from that. What I'm saying is I am a positive influencer. I'm not perfect. However, I want to make a positive impact on the world, and especially our people, men and women. So it's all about making life better for somebody else.
Go ahead, Ty.
Well, I really appreciate this conversation. I'm fortunate enough and I'm lucky enough to be around other successful influencers, on a normal basis. But just hearing the opinions from different parts of the country, in different parts of the world, really, what I'm saying, it just really gives me some retrospect to see exactly where we are here in Atlanta, what I'm saying, on this fitness scene and where the fitness scene actually is. So for me, I just want to be, what I'm saying, I've always been an entertainer. I sing, I always hoop, so I've always been that entertaining aspect. So I always wanted to bring the natural me, the person who's always performing, to fitness, and that's kind of what I've been doing. And I'm just gonna continue to push that, continue to be the Usher, be the Chris Brown of this fitness thing, because I feel like it needs a face. Because there's somebody out there that like me, that may have been a burnout or smoking weed or doing pills or doing drugs and not understanding that they don't have to change who they are to become healthy. And that's really what my message is, to serve different people, especially in this area, is that they don't have to change who they are to become healthier people. So I'm just gonna keep on pushing that narrative, and I really appreciate all the opinions from all y'all, because it definitely has high value to me.
Go ahead, Robert.
Again, it's a blessing to be on here. I can't believe I'm on here with Odell and Titus. I've been following Titus since, oh my goodness, since I've been following forever, especially the Essence Festival. I was like, man, I had to go see Titus. I miss Titus. But and Ty, just listening to you, I got some stuff, man. You and I can definitely talk, because I'm 35 years old. And my page talks about health, wellness, but most of all, it talks about the mental aspect, because I believe in becoming the best version of yourself. I can't help you as a trainer lift the weights or eat healthier without fixing this. And the only way that I could have lost over 185-pound person literally walking out my body is by fixing this. And so I had to, and I'm in my word. So I believe that what saved me was my Bible. What saved me was my Bible, my family. And so by holding on to that, by staying firm to what I believe in truth, and being honest with myself, because a lot of people don't hold themselves accountable. They rather point the finger at everybody else. It helps keep me going, and helps my why outshine my excuses. So that's why I tell people, to become the best version of yourself, that means you have to find an hour in the day to train and invest into yourself. Do it. That means reading books, working out, taking a walk, and do it. And so that's what my page is about. But that's who I am as a person. I try to make everybody laugh. First of all, I like to joke and have fun, but I love to encourage people, because I know what it is. I know how it is to be in that place of depression and feeling like you have nowhere else to go. So again, thank you for allowing me to be around amazing kings on this conversation.
And Titus.
First off, I want to say, Robert, congratulations, because you know what? Believe it or not, I saw your transformation, and I'm blown away that I inspired you and that you were following me. I had no idea. You can't see who follows.
Yes.
so it's like,
That's dope.
And I try my best. I don't really even pay attention to all. So but congratulations, and I'm glad we have conversations like this. I think more conversations like this would do our community and our world good. All right, because you do have younger men who do not have the benefit of perspective, and having us share our perspective but not be judgmental towards them is extremely helpful. Because like I said, I don't castigate people, I don't talk down to people, because I didn't always know what I know. Wow. Now, however, I wish that I had someone who knew a little bit more than me and said it to me in a certain way, because I might have transformed earlier. All right. And so I think conversations like this are very healthy. And we have to understand we are influencers, so we can influence a lot if we work in concert. All right. And I hope that this is the beginning of a movement of working in concert as men, as Black men, for a good cause, you know, because our community needs it. Mentally and physically, our community needs it.
Right, amen.
I agree. I like to thank all of y'all for coming on. I appreciate this. We definitely going to continue this conversation. I would like to thank everybody that came on today, or tonight, I should say. And this is a great panel right here. So we definitely going to do this again. We definitely going to come on. I would like to let everybody else know, tomorrow I'm going to go to Black Fitness page. We're going to go live. We're going to continue the conversation. So if you have opinions you want to say, come on in and you can give your opinions on there, and you can just come on double interview with me and just give your opinion what you think about the topic. Y'all invited as well too. So it's gonna be there. I'm gonna be on there 8 p.m. Eastern time on Instagram, Black Fitness Instagram Live. So just come on and you just have a conversation. Like I said, thank you guys for coming on. This has been amazing. I had fun, great listening.
I appreciate it.
Now it's time for me to go to sleep and take a shower. So y'all have a good, easy, good night.
Have a good evening. Peace. Love.
I appreciate y'all.
I gotta go take my Geritol now. So good night, guys.